Hey everyone, and welcome to Cooking Companion TV. I'm Jenna Edwards, and this is a recipe demo of Miso Tahini butter cookies from bonappetit.com. I know it's a really long name, and just to be a smartass, I considered putting every ingredient in the title, but I didn't. Regardless, it's a very interesting combination of ingredients that you just can't seem to get enough of, and I believe we call this umami. So let's get to it. We start by browning butter, which I've always wanted to do. We'll put 10 tablespoons of butter in a small saucepan and heat it over medium heat until it melts. It'll soon begin to foam, kind of like this. It'll also look like molten lava bubbling out of a volcano, and this is from the milk solids at the bottom of the pan trapping heat into a bubble, which eventually will spring its weight at the top. So be careful of that as you swirl it around on occasion. After a few more minutes over the heat, the foam will dissipate and it'll start to brown. My foam is now just thin bubbles, and you can barely see the brown bits on the side of the pan. I'm also going by smell to make sure I don't burn it, and right now it smells like caramel or a light butterscotch. So pour it into a medium heat-proof bowl and let it cool for 5 minutes. And since we work so hard to get browned butter, I'm spooning out the browned bits at the bottom of the pan too. During this cool down time, prep your other ingredients. We need 1 1/4 cups of whole wheat flour and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Now, I do not like whole wheat flour, so I'm using a mix of whole wheat and all-purpose. And whisk together the dry ingredients. Now we need 1 cup of packed dark brown sugar, 1/4 cup of miso, 1/3 cup of tahini, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 egg, and 1 cup of chocolate chips. Let's carefully add the brown sugar to the browned butter and mix until smooth. Remember that the butter is still hot, so when adding the brown sugar to the bowl, do it slowly so the hot butter doesn't splatter all over you. Also, it should only take a minute for the mixture to smooth out. Then stir in the egg, same thing, just mix it until smooth, or another minute. Now stir in the miso tahini vanilla mixture, again, until it's all smooth. And finally, we add in the dry ingredients. Now I'm gonna switch to a spatula. To keep from upsetting the flour all over the place, I'm gonna use the spatula to bring the bottom ingredients to the top and simply fold them over the flour. This is a very quick process, and it makes for an even mix. Now stir in the chocolate chips. Line 2 baking sheets with parchment paper and scoop out a heaping tablespoon and roll it into a ball. Then place your little dough balls on the baking sheet about 2 inches apart. We'll bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 14 minutes, turning around the sheets halfway to ensure an even bake. And we'll pull them out when they're lightly browned around the edges. Now let them cool and enjoy. These are very unique, and it may take a few bites to adjust to the flavor. When the cookies were still warm, I noticed the miso a lot. Oh, and that reminds me, you can use whatever miso you want. I used a sweet white miso, but a red miso could work too. The nuttiness of the tahini and the chocolate round it out, and you can use almond butter in lieu of the tahini too. And by the time they cooled, they almost tasted like regular chocolate chip cookies with just a little hint of something different. So that's it for this recipe demo of Miso Tahini butter cookies. Get the recipe at cookingcompaniontv.com/Miso Tahini cookies. Subscribe to this channel for more demos just like this. I'm Jenna Edwards, and thanks for watching.